For 3,000 years, the galaxy was quiet. No wars, no battles, no invasions, only peace. The United Galactic Council kept things balanced. Planets followed the same rules. Trade grew. Cities got bigger, and species became friends. Peace became normal. Younger generations never learned how to fight. They only knew meetings, handshakes, and agreements. Many believed the days of war were gone forever. But not everyone liked this peace. In a far-off part of the galaxy, the Krivans lived on a storm-covered planet. They were large, strong, and proud. They had sharp armor, long horns, and a deep voice that made others nervous. Long ago, they were known as the strongest warriors. But during peace, their power faded. Their weapons were stored away. Their battle schools closed. Younger Krivans felt angry and empty. "Peace makes us soft," said High Warlord Jarek, leader of the Krivans. He stood in a stone hall, looking at statues of old war heroes. "We were not made for peace. We were made for battle." Other Krivan leaders agreed. They wanted to feel strong again. They wanted to bring back their name in the galaxy. And the best way to do that, they thought, was war. "We need to remind the stars who we are," Jarek growled. "We'll choose a target, a species that won't expect it." His generals nodded. Screens showed planets of many races, but one name kept appearing: humans. "Earth is not as old as others," one general said. They joined the council. "Late, they broke many rules. They don't follow our ways. They're unpredictable," another warned. "Exactly," Jarek said, smiling. "They won't see us coming." In the next council meeting, the Krivan stood before all the species. There were tall insect races, glowing crystal beings, and soft water creatures floating in glass chambers. Everyone was calm, dressed in robes and lights. Then Jarek stepped forward, his armor shining with fire patterns. "The Krivans no longer accept this peace," he said. "We are declaring war. Our first target is the human system." The room froze. No one had heard such words in thousands of years. Some gasped, others stared in shock. "You can't do this," said a speaker from the Alari, a peaceful race of thinkers. "War has been banned. We make our own rules now." Jarek answered. Many looked toward the human seat. A group of human diplomats sat there, men and women in dark uniforms with calm eyes. One of them, a middle-aged man with silver hair, stood up. "We accept your declaration," he said simply. Jarek blinked. "You what?" "We accept it," the human repeated, smiling slightly. "See you soon." The Krivans expected fear, begging, a call for help. Instead, they got a smile. That small reaction spread fast. News channels across the galaxy showed the clip of the humans' calm response. Aliens whispered in markets and spaceports. Why didn't the humans panic? Are they hiding something? Do they think this is a joke? Meanwhile, on Earth, no alarms rang. No chaos broke out. Factories turned on. Old doors were opened. Lights flashed inside massive hangars buried deep underground. Rows of ships, coated in dust and time, were cleaned and awakened. Engineers returned to their stations. Soldiers who had trained in secret finally received their real orders. Some of them smiled. They had waited a long time for this. Back in Krivan space, Jarek's fleet prepared to move. War drums echoed. Giant cruisers were launched. Armor was clean. The warriors shouted old songs. They believed they would crush Earth easily. "They have no real army," one pilot said. "They won't last a day." Jarek looked at the map. "We'll take their homeworld, then send a message to the galaxy." He had no idea what was waiting. Across the stars, in a quiet control room on a human base orbiting Mars, a woman watched the Krivan fleet move through space. Her name was Commander Ella, and she was known for saying little but seeing everything. "They've chosen war," one officer whispered beside her. Ella nodded. "And now, they'll meet the part of us." The galaxy forgot. She pressed a button. Deep under the moon's surface, hidden gates opened. Old human warships, long thought useless, floated out slowly. Their hulls looked worn, but inside, they carried weapons no other race had ever seen. The humans never wanted war, but they never forgot it either. The Krivan's war declaration sent shockwaves through the galaxy. After 3,000 years of peace, no one was ready for war. The United Galactic Council hurried to respond. Leaders of many species gathered in the Grand Hall, their faces tense with worry. Some begged the Krivans to stop. Others tried to find peaceful ways to avoid conflict. But the Krivan High Warlord Jarek was firm. He wanted war and glory. While the council debated, the humans watched quietly. On Earth, in government buildings, in space command centers, nothing rushed or panicked. Instead, a calm confidence filled the air. Humans seemed ready, more ready than anyone guessed. The human ambassador to the Galactic Council, a woman named Lara, stood before the assembly. Her voice was steady. "We accept the challenge," she said simply. A murmur spread across the hall. Many aliens were shocked. Why would humans accept a war declaration so calmly? Did they know something others did not? Back on Earth, people prepared in secret. Old battlefields deep underground came to life. Humans who had trained for war in quiet places stepped forward. Engineers worked day and night to repair and upgrade ships long forgotten by the galaxy. These ships looked old on the outside, but inside they hid powerful new weapons and strong defenses. The Krivans watched the humans with growing anger. They expected the humans to beg for help or surrender. Instead, humans prepared quietly and smiled. "They think this is a game," one Krivan captain growled. "We will show them real war." As the Krivan fleet moved closer to the human system, news spread quickly. Across many planets, species watched in fear. They expected a quick defeat for humans. But humans were different. They had learned from their past. Their history was full of wars, fights for survival, and hard lessons. While the galaxy had forgotten war, humans had not died in secret. Humans trained new pilots, soldiers, and commanders. They practiced old war tactics and invented new ones. They tested weapons that could surprise even the strongest enemy. Commander Ella, the woman who watched the Krivan fleet, stood on the bridge of the human flagship. She looked calm, but her eyes were sharp. "They think we are weak," she said to her officers. "But they don't know what we are capable of." The first contact between the fleets was tense. The Krivan warships moved fast, aiming to overwhelm the humans with numbers and power. But human ships moved with strange precision. Their weapons fired quickly and accurately. Old designs had new technology that confused the KRI Vans. In one battle near Mars, a Krivan dreadnought was destroyed before it could fire a single shot. Human pilots worked like a single unit, protecting each other and attacking with smart tactics. News from the front lines surprised the galaxy. Humans were not only fighting, they were winning. Alien leaders grew nervous. They asked their generals, how did they do it? The answer was simple. Humans never stopped preparing. Their long peace was not empty. It was a calm before a storm. While others built large fleets that only looked powerful, humans focused on quality and training. They knew their history and never believed peace would last forever. Inside Earth's command center, leaders watched battlefields with quiet pride. They knew the war was only beginning. Ambassador Lara spoke to the Galactic Council again. "We do not want war," she said, "but we will fight if we must." Many aliens began to respect humans for their strength and calmness. Some even wondered if humans would become the strongest species in the galaxy. Back on the Krivan homeworld, Warlord Jarek was angry and confused. His plan to crush humans quickly had failed. He realized that humans were different from any enemy he had faced. "We underestimated them," he said. "This is not the peace we know. This is something new." The Krivans prepared for more battles, but deep inside, they feared the humans. Across the galaxy, the war had started. It was not just a fight for power, it was a lesson. Humans reminded everyone that peace could never last without strength. And as the stars watched, one truth became clear. When humans smirk, it means they are ready for the storm. After the first battle, the galaxy's eyes turned to the human fleet. Many species had seen only the shiny new ships of the big powers. But the humans had something different, old ships that looked worn, but moved with skill and power. The Krivans laughed when they first saw these ships. They thought the humans were weak and unprepared. "Rusty old ships," one Krivan pilot said with a sneer. They will break before we even fight. But humans were not careless. They had spent decades upgrading these ships in secret. Engines were rebuilt for speed and power. Weapons were modernized with new energy systems. Shields that could take hits from the strongest lasers were installed. And the most important part, human crews were trained like never before. Commander. Ella walked through the corridors of one warship. She saw soldiers ready to fight, engineers fixing machines, and pilots studying star maps. Everyone knew their job. Everyone was calm but ready. "We are not the strongest by size," Ella said to a young officer. "But we are the smartest and fastest. We fight with our minds and our hearts." The Krivans moved closer to Earth's orbit. Their fleet was huge. Made of sharp, fast, and powerful ships, they believed they would win quickly. But the humans had a secret weapon: their knowledge of the galaxy and old war tactics. Humans remembered that speed and surprise were more important than just big weapons. When the Krivan fleet entered human space, humans did not run or hide. Instead, they sent out small squads of fighters to test the enemy. These squads moved fast and hit weak points of the Krivan ships. The Krivans tried to respond, but human ships disappeared before the Krivans could find them. In one fight near Mars, human pilots surrounded a Krivan cruiser. They attacked from all sides, confusing the enemy. The cruiser fired many lasers, but it could not stop the quick human fighters. Soon, the cruiser's engines failed, and it drifted powerless. The Krivan commander was shocked. "How do they do this?" he asked his officers. "They move like ghosts," one replied. "We cannot catch them." Meanwhile, on Earth, humans celebrated small victories but stayed focused. Every battle was a lesson. Every loss was studied and used to improve. Scientists and engineers worked day and night. They created new technology inspired by alien designs but improved with human creativity. This gave humans an edge that was hard to predict. The Galactic Council was divided. Some races admired human strength and cleverness. Others worried that humans would become too powerful. Ambassador Lara spoke again at the council meeting. "Humans do not seek to rule the galaxy," she said. "We only want to protect our home and our people." But Krivan warlord Jarak was angry. "They hide their power well," he said. "We must crush them before they grow stronger." Krivan spies reported that humans were also helping other species in secret. They sent supplies and advice to planets near the Krivan borders. Humans were not only fighting but building alliances quietly. This surprised many. Humans did not want war, but they were ready to protect themselves and their friends. One Krivan general said, "Humans are dangerous not just because of their ships or weapons, but because they think like us. They prepare for every possibility." Commander Ella knew the war would be long and hard. "We must be patient," she told her crew. "War is not just about fighting. It is about surviving, learning, and never giving up." As the Krivans planned their next attack, humans kept surprising them. Each battle was harder for the Krivans. The humans were united, skilled, and smart. Across the galaxy, many species started to change their minds about humans. No longer were humans seen as weak or simple. Now, they were respected as strong, brave, and clever. The new warning from the edge of space sent a chill through the galaxy. A strange force, larger and more powerful than the machines, was moving closer. It was unknown, silent, and unstoppable, or so it seemed. Commander Neil Hart called a meeting of the Alliance leaders. "We face a threat unlike any before, but we have learned much. We have united many, and together, we will stand." Kayla Frost prepared her squadron once more. Her fighters flew through the stars with renewed strength and purpose. The lessons of the past battles had made them sharper, faster, and braver. As the mysterious force approached, scouts reported strange signals patterns unlike anything known. Ships were being drawn in, but not destroyed. Some return changed, with new knowledge but strange behavior. Scientists studied the signals carefully. They realized the force was not just a weapon. It was a living intelligence, vast and ancient, with its own will. The Alliance named it the Void. It was a test, a shadow from the galaxy's past, seeking to understand or consume all life. The fleet moved to confront the void near a distant star cluster. The battle was different. No lasers fired at first. Instead, the void sent waves of energy that tested the ship's shields and mines. Kayla's squadron flew through the strange waves, feeling weightless yet alert. They worked as one, protecting each other and searching for weakness. Commander Hart ordered a new plan, a combination of science and courage. A small team would enter the heart of the void's influence, carrying a device designed to communicate, not destroy. Kayla volunteered to lead. With her team, she entered the strange space where light twisted and time seemed to slow. Inside, they found a presence ancient and wise. It spoke not in words, but in feelings and images. It showed memories of the galaxy's birth and death, of life's endless fight. Kayla understood that the void was not evil, but a guardian testing if life was ready to join a greater existence. With bravery, Kayla and her team sent a message of peace and unity. The void listened slowly. The waves calmed. The fleet outside held its breath. After a long silence, the void withdrew, leaving space open for life to grow. Commander Hart spoke to all worlds. Today, we face the unknown and chose hope. We are not alone, and together, we will build a future where every voice matters. Kayla returned to the Chiron colony. Children ran to greet her, elders smiled, and the stars shone bright above. Humanity's journey had begun with one cry of desperation. It had grown into a tale of courage, unity, and hope that would echo through the galaxy forever. And as the galaxy trembled once more, it did so not from fear, but from the power of a united future. And in the silence of space, one message was clear. Humans had waited long for this moment. They were ready to fight. And when they fought, they did so with the strength of their history and the hope for their future. The battle near Earth's orbit was fierce. The Krivan fleet was larger and stronger. But humans had something they did not expect. Heart and unity. Human pilots flew with skill, protecting each other and attacking as one. Their ships moved in tight groups, using every weakness in the Krivan ships. Commander Ella stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolve. She watched the battle unfold on the screen. Explosions lit up space. Debris floated in silence. She stayed calm. Hold the line, she said. Protect the homeworld. Human soldiers were brave. They faced the Krivan attacks without fear. Some ships were hit, but crews worked quickly to repair damage. Others took the place of lost ships, never giving up. One human pilot, a young man named Ryan, flew through the chaos. He dodged lasers and fired back with precision. His small fighter was old but fast. He thought about his family waiting on Earth. I won't let them down, he whispered. On the Krivan side, Warlord Jarek was frustrated. Why did they fight so hard? He asked. They should be afraid. His officers answered. Humans have something we do not hope. Krivan ships tried to use their power weapons, but humans had learned to avoid them. They used speed and clever tactics to stay safe. The battle lasted for hours. Finally, the Krivans began to retreat. They lost many ships and men. The humans did not chase them. They knew this was only the beginning. After the battle, Earth was full of mixed feelings. Sadness for lost soldiers, but hope for victory. Leaders spoke to their people, promising to protect the planet. Ambassador Laura went to the Galactic Council again. She told the leaders, humans want peace, but we will defend ourselves with all our strength. The council listened carefully. Many realized humans were not a simple young race. They were strong and wise. At the same time, humans sent messages to other planets. They asked for help and offered support. They wanted friends, not just allies. The Krivans planned their next move. They sent spies to learn more about humans. They watched how humans worked together with other species. They saw that humans could be kind and fierce. Commander Ella prepared her fleet for more battles. She said, we fight not for glory, but for our future. On Earth, schools taught children about history, not just peace, but also the courage and strength needed to keep it. Stories of old wars were told so new generations would understand the cost of peace. The galaxy began to change. Species that once ignored war started to prepare again. They watched humans closely, learning from their tactics. In space, the war was far from over. But one thing was clear: humans had shown the galaxy that peace was strong. Only when backed by strength. And as stars shone above, humans smiled quietly, ready for whatever came next. The Krivan fleet suffered heavy losses, but Warlord Jarek refused to give up. He believed that crushing the humans quickly was the only way to keep his people's honor. He ordered a new attack, stronger and more dangerous than before. This time, the Krivans used new tactics. They tried to divide the human fleet, hoping to attack smaller groups one by one. Their warships moved faster, firing powerful energy blasts and missiles. Commander Ella and her team knew the danger. "We must stay united," she said firmly. "If we fight separately, we will fall." Human pilots worked closely together. They protected each other and shared information fast. Even when a ship was damaged, its crew fought on bravely. In one battle near the asteroid belt, the Krivan surrounded a group of human ships. It looked like a trap, but the humans had planned for this. Ryan, the young pilot from Earth, flew at the front. "We have to break their line," he said to his squad. They moved quickly, firing and dodging. Using smart moves, they broke the Krivan circle and escaped. The battle was fierce, but humans showed their strength again. They did not panic or run. They fought with courage and hope. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council, many species watched the war with new respect for humans. They sent messages of support and offered help on Earth. Families waited anxiously for news from the front. Soldiers wrote letters home, sharing their hopes and fears. Children painted pictures of ships and stars, dreaming of a future without war. Commander Ella visited a training base on the moon. She spoke to young soldiers. "War is not just about fighting," she said. "It's about protecting those we love and never losing hope." The Krivans, feeling pressure, tried one last plan. They sent secret agents to Earth to find weaknesses, but humans caught them quickly. Earth's security was strong, and humans worked well together. Laura, the human ambassador, told the council, "Our strength comes from unity. Together, we protect our home and our friends." As the war continued, humans gained more allies. Species that once ignored Earth now stood by humans' side. They saw humans as a symbol of hope and strength. Back on Krivan homeworld, Warlord Jarek faced growing doubts. His people were tired and scared. Some leaders wanted peace, but Jarek still believed in fighting. "If we do not win now, we lose everything," he said. But deep inside, he knew humans were different. They fought not just with weapons, but with their hearts. One quiet night, Commander Ella looked up at the stars. She thought of the peace they all wanted. "This war is hard," she said softly, "but it will show the galaxy what humans truly are." Across the stars, the war was far from over, but hope burned bright on Earth and in human hearts. They knew the future was theirs to protect, and as the galaxy watched, one thing became clear: when humans smirk, they mean business. The war had gone on for many months. The Krivans had lost many ships and soldiers, but they still fought fiercely. Warlord Jarek was determined to win, no matter the cost. He believed that only total victory could save his people's honor. On Earth, humans worked harder than ever. Factories produced weapons and ships day and night. Soldiers trained and planned for every possible attack. The human fleet grew stronger and smarter with every battle. Commander Ella stood in the command center, looking at the map of the galaxy. Red dots showed Krivan movements, and blue dots showed human forces. "We must stay ready," she told her officers. "They will not stop, and neither will we." In space, the Krivan fleet tried to break through human defenses near a small planet called Arcadia. It was a critical point in the war. If the Krivan succeeded, they could reach Earth faster. The battle was fierce. Krivan ships fired powerful energy beams, and human ships responded with sharp, fast attacks. Many ships were damaged or destroyed on both sides. Ryan, the young pilot, flew his fighter through the chaos. He saw a Krivan cruiser firing on a damaged human ship. Without thinking, he rushed to help, dodging lasers and missiles. He fired back at the cruiser's engines, causing it to lose power. His bravery saved many lives that day after the battle. Commander Ella praised Ryan. "Your courage helped us win," she said. "We all fight for each other." Back on Earth, families waited for news. Soldiers sent messages of hope and strength. Children learned stories of heroes who fought to protect their home. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council met again. Some species still wanted peace, others worried about the long war. But all agreed humans had changed the galaxy. Lara, the human ambassador, spoke to the council. "We want peace, but we will never be weak. Peace must be protected with strength." Kriven. Warlord Jarek began to doubt his path. His people were tired, and many wanted to stop the fighting. But pride and fear held him back. One night, he stood on his homeworld's highest mountain, looking at the stars. "This war is not what I thought," he whispered. "Humans are stronger than I imagined." Across the galaxy, news of human courage and strength spread. Other species began to prepare. Learning from humans, they realized peace was fragile without readiness. Commander Ella met with her officers. "The war is hard," she said, "but it shows who we are. Humans do not give up." As the stars shone above, humans stayed united, ready for whatever came next. Their smirk was quiet but powerful sign that they were prepared to protect their home and the peace they hoped to keep. The war had reached its turning point. The Krivens, once proud and fierce, now faced a challenge they did not expect. Humans had grown stronger, wiser, and more united than ever before. Their ships moved like shadows, their pilots fought with courage, and their commanders planned with care. Commander Ella stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolve, watching the stars. "This is the moment we prove who we are," she told her crew, "not just as warriors, but as protectors of peace." The Kriven fleet gathered near the edge of human space, ready for one final attack. Warlord Jarek's voice was filled with anger and desperation. "We will crush them now," he said, "or we will fall trying." The battle began with fierce energy. Lasers blazed through the darkness, explosions lit the sky, ships moved fast, dodging and striking with skill. But humans fought with something. More than weapons, they fought with hope and heart. Even when ships fell, their crews never gave up. They worked together, protecting each other and pushing forward. Ryan, the young pilot who had become a symbol of courage, flew with steady hands. He thought of Earth, of his family, and of the future he wanted to protect. "We will win this," he whispered to himself. The battle was long and hard. Many ships on both sides were lost, but humans never stopped fighting. Their unity and courage inspired others in the galaxy. Finally, Kriven Warlord Jarek saw the truth. Humans were not just strong, they were unstoppable when they fought for what they loved. With a heavy heart, he ordered a retreat. "We have lost," he admitted, "but we will remember this lesson." Back on Earth, people cheered. The war was not over, but hope had returned. Ambassador Lara spoke to the Galactic Council once more. "This war showed us all something important," she said. "Peace is not weakness. It is strength guarded by courage and unity." Many species began to prepare for a new future, learning from humans. The galaxy would never forget the lesson taught by the youngest race: the power of readiness, hope, and a quiet smirk. And as the stars shone above, humans stood tall, ready to protect their home, their people, and the peace they had fought so hard to keep.